Welcome to Keller Williams Realty, Southern Tier, and Finger Lakes.
Hi, welcome to Keller Williams.
Hello everyone, it's Mike Lanning again, and today I have the pleasure of being here at KW, and actually KW is where I work and who I work with, so I'm really excited today to have our team leader here, Andrea O'Haron-Mosier.
Hello,
Hi.
thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited about this for two reasons. Number one, as your team leader, it makes me very excited to see you being such a great business owner and taking on a project like this. So that makes me very happy. And secondly, I'm really excited to tell our Keller Williams story because I think that we have a great story to tell, but we don't do a great job telling it to people like you guys.
Sure, yeah. Well, let's start out with how did you come involved with KW? What did you do prior to KW? I know that you were a real estate agent, but tell the folks where you come from in terms of vocations.
Yeah, so I was actually, I went to college for interpersonal communication, which was a very general, I don't know what I want to do with my life, as most people at that age, you know, that's kind of where they're at. I ended up becoming a title abstractor, which is semi-real estate related, but it wasn't intentionally to move into real estate sales. At that time, the company that I worked for, I was in danger of being laid off, so I put the feelers out for an opportunity and was actually connected to an agent that we have here who was looking to hire an assistant. So I got hired as his assistant and then fell in love with the career through that. But really what happened for me is not only did I love real estate, but I really connected to the company culture because I grew so much as a professional that by coming to Keller Williams in ways I never expected, that when I was given the opportunity to become the team leader and kind of the spokesperson, I jumped right on it.
So tell us a little more about, you know, the team leader. It's a little different lingo here at KW.
Yep.
So tell the public what do we mean by a team leader and what do you do?
Yep. So whenever I explain team leader, I say I'm kind of like the director of growth. Growth is the word that you would put on what I do, and that's growth in a few different ways. Number one, I grow our office by bringing in new talent like Michael. I also grow the office as a whole by offering opportunities for our agents to train and just making sure that they have an environment where they can grow to their fullest potential. So that's another way that I focus on growth. And then my goal for this year and going forward, in addition to those other two, is to grow in the public and help you guys all see that Keller Williams could be your company of choice for real estate.
Well, I know as an aspiring agent, when I first got my license, I mean, I looked around at other, brokerages, obviously, but what drew me to KW was the culture, and I might add the education opportunities. There is so much offered here if you're thinking about going into real estate in terms of learning the trade, and there's a lot to learn, but the opportunities that are here, they're not only free, but they're constant every week. You could be at a class every day of the week here, and completely, I've learned so much.
Yeah, that's one of our main focus is training, because we know that keeps people from becoming stagnant, and it helps our agents just be the best professionals that they can be, which ultimately means that they're going to be the best representatives for their sellers and their buyers.
Right, right. So Kellerisms, we have a different lingo. Team leaders, a different lingo. We call the office the market center. That's different lingo. Talk a little bit about Kellerisms and what we mean by that.
Yeah, so Kellerisms, that's something that's funny. When I first started with the company, I learned just by being here, but when I became a team leader, I was like, all right, listen, I'm like, we need to put these out on a list because people are going to sit there, they're not going to know what these words means, but they all have a very specific definition to our culture. Certain Kellerisms, for example, we will call our agents associates. The reason we do that is because we actually profit share. We're one of the only real estate companies that shares their profits with their agents every month. And by sharing in our profits, you truly are an associate and not just an agent. Another Kellerism that you might hear is the MREA, also known as the Red Book. And that book is sitting right here next to me. This is a book that was written by our co-founder, and it is kind of like our go-to manual for real estate. There are basic concepts in this book, and if you want to be successful in real estate, you'll find that it's simple. Everybody who's been successful has kind of done the same thing. It's not easy, it takes hard work, but if you follow what we teach in this book, then you'll be just fine. So MREA. We also have a term called a capper. A capper is an agent who gets just about 100% of their commissions. That is another thing that's very specific to Keller Williams culture. Our agents only contribute a certain amount in the year, and then they have the opportunity to get 100% of their commissions, which I love. I think that's wonderful for our agents. And Michael mentioned market center. Because we are a profit sharing company, it makes sense for us to have one central location as opposed to multiple offices, satellite offices, because that creates overhead and that creates more expenses, which is less profit for us to share. So we have one office that is central to the market that we serve.
And one other distinction I think it's important to make to the public too is that this office is independently owned.
Yes.
And it's a nationwide company. However, can you explain the difference between, like it being a franchise across the country?
Yes, it's kind of the best of both worlds in my opinion. We have all the benefits of being part of a huge organization, the #1 real estate company in the world, in fact. However, every office was started by individuals in communities. So our office, we opened in 2009, and it was a group of top producing agents in our community who all researched the Keller Williams model and decided that this was the best fit for the real estate business, and they put the money forward to open our particular franchise.
Yeah.
So we have tight, kind of like a family feel, but we have all the benefits of being part of a huge organization, resources and all of that.
And the other thing is the way the agents you talked about, the top agents, as a very new person, I'm amazed at how many people have reached out their hand to say, hey, Mike, if you want a couple hours with me to talk about whatever XYZ,
Yes.
they offer their time willingly. And I know they're busy because they're selling a lot of properties, but that's incredible. So flipping from the culture internally, I want to ask you, what should the public know about why, as a consumer, you would pick KW?
Well, there's tons of reasons. The first reason is we did talk about the fact that we are a large company. Because of that, our agents are able to market your, if you're a seller, we're able to market your property to the very best of our ability. You will be on over 350 real estate websites because we have a very large reach in that way. So if your listing is to be seen, it's going to be seen. We also have, because of that culture, which is the perfect word, and that's something that we work very hard to protect, we have a group of agents that are here helping each other. If your agent doesn't know the answer to something, they will turn to another more experienced agent and get the answer right away. So you definitely have support, not only from the agent that you're working directly with, but really from the whole office.
We're a very large team, and,
Yes.
and it is a team environment.
Absolutely.
I mean, we're all in it to, obviously make a living, but we helping each other is what makes that boosted,
Yes, and part of our training, which I think is also super important, is teaching our agents how to deliver stellar customer service. Going through buying or selling a home is a big deal for most people under most circumstances. Sometimes it's happy, sometimes it's not so happy. But either way, it can be an emotional time. It's a transition in your life often. And we train our agents to really be very supportive and to make that process as easy as possible for you. Sometimes there's little stumbling blocks along the way, but we really strive to get you from point A to point B as seamlessly as possible.
One other thing that drew me to this market center is the technology that's offered. I mean, immediately I was giving the keys to the castle in terms of technology.
So technology is another really important piece of our culture. We understand that we're in a world of uncharted territory a little bit. We have consumers that want information at their fingertips. I'm guilty. I like that too. So we're trying to accommodate that as much as possible. So providing our agents with tools like e-signature programs. So you don't have to go to the office and sign a paper copy of something. You can simply open your phone, push a button, and sign documents for the transaction. That's one example. We are developing a really amazing consumer app for real estate property search. Now, we already have an app that is great, and I think it's probably one of the best apps out there, but the app that we have coming is going to do things that are just going to blow every app out of the water, and you guys are going to love it. It's just going to make your home search process that much easier.
Awesome. So we'll move a little bit from KW to you. I want to know a little bit about you, and I know all my interviews, people tell me that watch them that they like that I'm not only getting the history of the companies, but the people that are in the companies that I'm interviewing, they like to know about them. So tell us a little bit about you.
Well, so I have a family. I have 2 little boys. I have a almost 8-year-old Daniel and an almost 5-year-old Henry. And my husband's name is Justin. I love being a team leader for lots of reasons, but I really like to teach. I think it's something that I've grown into in this role, and I get an opportunity to teach often here in the Market Center. I like to focus on my health a lot, and that's another piece of KW culture is we have a wellness piece of our culture that I connect to personally. So I don't know if you guys care to know about that, but
No, it's great. I mean, let's talk about what's the most fun about what you do.
The most fun, I do love teaching. I like to be the spokesperson for the company. I think if you've been watching the video, you can tell I'm very passionate about it. So if I can, so I really like that. I like the long-term relationship of being in my position versus being an agent. Now, agents definitely can create a long-term relationship with their clients. In fact, I encourage that. I get to see you guys all the time though, and I like that. I like bringing in new agents and watching them grow, seeing what kind of business owner they're going to grow into. So I think that's probably the most fun, most fulfilling part of my job.
Awesome. What's most challenging? Because it's a big job. I mean, you have a lot of roles that you play.
Yes, I think the most challenging part of my role is kind of the flip side of what my favorite part is there are times when you believe in someone more than they believe in themselves. So I'll bring in a new agent and I want so much for them to put in the hard work and be successful, but I can only motivate them so much. So I think when I see someone struggle, that's probably the most challenging piece of it.
Well, that just made me think of another real plus that I'm involved with, and that is, the accountability coaching.
Yes.
I am a part of the coaching team. I have a coach, and I meet weekly, if not more.
Yeah.
And in addition to all the education, I learned so much from my coach, and so that's a great benefit as a new agent.
Absolutely. So accountability is something like when you're a business owner, it has a lot of exciting potential to it, the flexibility, all the things that people are drawn to, but you don't have the accountability like you would have being an employee. Nobody's going to fire you except for you. So you kind of need someone to hold you accountable to yourself. So we have our productivity coaching program. Becky Wheeler is our productivity coach. So Michael's part of that program, and that definitely helps people stay on task and stay motivated and go back to their why of why they got into the business to begin with.
Right, yes. Begin with
the big
why.
Yeah. It's another Kellerism, the big why. Yep.
The big why, begin with why.
Yep.
How about the future? What do you think about your future here as a team leader? And do you have any passions that currently you're thinking about in terms of improving this KW?
Yes. Well, like I said, my goal this year is to get more of the public awareness of who we are. We are semi-new to this area, although Keller Williams has been a company since 1983. In our particular area, we've only been around about 10 years. There's a couple pieces to that challenge. Number one is the fact that we are semi-new. The other piece of that is the fact that we encourage our agents to brand themselves, which has a lot of great benefits to them. However, sometimes I wonder if Keller Williams gets kind of lost in that. So we're doing some cool, unique projects this year to bring more awareness to Keller Williams as a company. You may start seeing little KW signs supplementing agent signs, so be on the lookout for those. And then long term for me personally, we have a division within the company called MAPS, and it specifically revolves around higher level training. I want to be a transformational coach. And what that means is I could have clients that I would coach about kind of like life coaching. I really connect deeply to that, and I feel very, very thankful that I have an opportunity to do that within the organization that I'm already in. I think that's super cool.
Yeah, you are definitely doing that and much more. So,
Okay.
is there anything else that you want to tell the public about KW? I mean, you couldn't be more excited about what you do, and
It's
it
true.
comes out every pore. So
Well,
I give you a lot of credit for that.
I appreciate that. I am very excited about what I do. I just want you guys to know that we take this business very seriously. Our agents do, our leadership team does. We don't take it lightly. The success of the company means so much to us, and ultimately that would be success for you guys as consumers as well. So just know that we are a company that cares tremendously. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I think that might be it.
And what I need is I need leads.
Yes, and
I'm
he needs
building my
leads.
business, and this is my branding.
Yes.
This is what I'm doing.
And by him getting leads, you're going to be fulfilling my dream as well, because I will get to watch Michael become one of our top agents and help many, many families get into homes or sell their homes. So if you guys could do that for him, you'll be doing that for me, and I would be eternally grateful as well.
Yeah, well, that's the goal. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
The Keller Williams culture is the foundation of every single decision, every single day. A critical contributor, J.D. Isles, Education Director. As always, thanks for your support, thanks for watching, and please visit parkbench.com.